What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some incredibly entertaining battles submitted to the channel by KingPeria464, who's running a triple beam meme team with Barrel and Fire running Hyper Beam and Parasect running Solar Beam. There are going to be some battles in this video that absolutely shouldn't have been winnable, but when you land an unexpected beam, you can flip a game on its head in an instant. With that being said, let's just get straight into the question of the day. What's the most satisfying Pokemon plus nuke charge attack combination that people often do not shield? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so go into the first battle, leading Barrel into a Shadow Blossom. Awful matchup for us. Gonna say swap into our Forest, and the opponent is choosing to stay in initially before swapping into a Water Gun Whiscash, but they give us a huge energy advantage, allowing us to make it to the Hyper Beam. We're full sending it, but unfortunately it gets shielded, and that is definitely not ideal for us. At this point, we're gonna let the Ferret go down here, grab the shield advantage, probably gonna come back in with the Barrel, of course, up against our Parasect. This would be a great matchup, but we're gonna save the Parasect for that Shadow Blossom in the lead. Gonna no shield as they go for a Mud Bomb here, and we will be able to outpace them to the next charge move, but we're actually going to make a very nice catch there, catching a double resisted Mud Bomb onto our Parasect, but we bait out a Macargo. They're running Rock Throw though, so we will be able to potentially make it to a last second Solar Beam. We just about get there in time. Solar Beam coming through, gets no shielded, it one-shots Macargo. They come back in with the Whiscash. We're gonna go for a very aggressive Water Gun farm down, and there's only one win condition. We are full sending the Hyper Beam once again, no baits whatsoever, and the opponent does not respect the damage. We get the nuke with the Hyper Beam through the shield as well, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we can see Talonflame in the lead. The opponent's going to say swap into a Flygon, and honestly, this is not a very good matchup for us. Not really sure why we swapped into our Parasect. I guess keeping it away from the Talonflame there, maybe not really going to fight hard for switch advantage, but instead just sacrificing the Parasect here up against the Flygon because it's going to be absolutely useless up against that Talonflame. Either way, you're going to go for a Cross Poison number 2. This one does actually grab a shield there, possibly the threat of an Exeter or the opponent just not knowing the moveset there or the counts. But either way, you're going to come in with our Ferret, and I think we're going to commit one shield and go for a full Sucker Punch farm down here, and we are going to do exactly that. So the opponent goes for the Dragon Claw. They are going to get farmed down by the Sucker Punches. We're going to swap straight away into our Barrel, and the opponent comes in with a Sceptile now. Unfortunately, this time not going to make it to a Hyper Beam, but we grab a shield with the Surf, and I think we already know what's going to happen here. We're going to no shield. The opponent goes for a Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade easily gets the KO there. We can come back in with the Ferret, go for a Brick Break. Now, Brick Break will not be enough damage to get the KO, but it might just put them into Sucker Punch farm down range, and of course it does debuff their defense. So they go for a Leaf Blade there. Can we get the farm down? Yes, we're able to do so, and we come out with the Hyper Beam loaded. We are absolutely throwing it straight away. Hyper Beam gets the one shot up against the Talonflame, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we can see Barrel into Typhlosion. So this is a good matchup for us. Of course, they could be running Thunder Punch. They probably will be running Thunder Punch, and we're going to swap and catch it onto our Ferret here, which I don't know if that was necessary. Maybe could have just shielded once and gone for a farm down, but either way, we're going to bait out a Jumpluff, which is definitely good because Parasect is going to be pretty awful up against the Jumpluff there, taking double super effective damage from the flying type moves, and Barrel also going to take super effective from grass. So honestly, pretty good to see it here, and once again, we full send the Hyper Beam. Unfortunately, this time it does not get the KO. Jumpluff is a very bulky Pokemon, but we put them into Water Gun farm down range, and we get that farm down before they even make it to a charge move, which is very nice. They're going to come back in with the Typhlosion, possibly could have caught a Thunder Punch onto Parasect, but that's very risky. Instead, this time, just going to use our shield, go for the full Water Gun farm down, and the opponent comes in with a Quagsire. So at this point, looking very good. We can go for a Surf here. No point full sending a Hyper Beam this time around. If we do connect with just one Surf, we should be able to farm them down. At this point, it's looking pretty good for us. We're going to swap, and once again, we're able to catch what I assume to be either resisted Aqua Tail or a double resisted Mud Bomb, and this is certainly game over. Cross Poison will be resisted by the ground typing, but it doesn't really matter. They're probably going to use their final shield. They do use their final shield, and I think at this point, just let this move go through here. The opponent might be running Stone Edge. It is the Stone Edge. It gets the KO. We can come back in with the Barrel. The opponent tries to make a catch there, but we weren't actually at the Surf just yet, and now we're able to throw the Surf into the Quagsire. We're able to take them out, and we're able to take that game. So going into next battle, we barrel into a Shadow Pidgeot. So the opponent is going to be running Wing Attack, which unfortunately is not that great this season anymore. I think the preferred moveset would be to run Gust as the fast move, but we're going straight for Surf. Surf does big damage. We actually get the Water Gun farm down before they can even throw a charge move, but they come in with Superior, and honestly, you can see we're probably trying to catch a Frenzy Plant there, but unfortunately that backfires massively as they can now go for a double super effective Aerial Ace, and that's non-stab from a fairly bulky Pokemon, but it very nearly takes us out, although they will not be able to Vine Whip farm us down, and they are staying in, so it's not the worst case scenario. We can go and fire off a Cross Poison. Cross Poison grabs a shield, and we're able to make it to another Cross Poison, which is very nice. Cross Poison is going to be no shielded. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite take them out there, but the opponent does throw it on CMP, so of course Aerial Ace will get the KO. We can come in with our Furret, get the Sucker Punch farm down there, and they come in with a Clodsire. So at this point I'm thinking they're probably going to save a shield for our Barrel, so we can just go straight for the Hyper Beam here. Hyper Beam, will it connect? Absolutely, yes it will, and unfortunately once again Clodsire very bulky, so it doesn't quite get the one shot there, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, we're going to swap into our Barrel. We could shield this, we could just let it go through, doesn't really matter. We're still healthy enough to come in with the Furret, get the Sucker Punch farm down, and we're able to take that game. So going into next battle, barrel into Macargo. So this is a great lead matchup for us. The opponent is staying in initially, and eventually they do swap out, but very slow to swap out there. We're going to swap, and once again, it looks like we're trying to catch that grass move, but it backfires as the opponent doesn't throw straight away, and then they just go for a Rock Slide there, which is not ideal. But once again, they will not be able to fully Bullet Seed farm us down, so either way, they're going to have to throw another charge move here. We are going to farm up to back-to-back Cross Poisons, and we could maybe grab a shield here. The opponent is going to shield, and we can now go for a couple more Fury Cutters, fire off another Cross Poison. Again, Cross Poison won't quite get the KO from that range, but they swap back into Macargo. We're able to swap in time, swapping into Barrel, getting a full farm down. They come in with Nidoqueen, and once again, full send in the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam gets the one shot up against the Nidoqueen. They come back in with Cradilly, and we're actually able to go for a Water Gun farm down there, taking out Cradilly, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, another Macargo in the lead, so very good. This time they are running a Incinerate, which is even better for the Barrel. And the opponent is going to throw a charge move. We're actually just going to shield this here. The opponent goes for a Rock Tomb, debuffing our attack before swapping into Jumpluff. And once again, not really the best Pokemon for this team, but we can align it to our Furret, which is a fairly neutral matchup. They're going to go and fire off the Aerial Ace there. Aerial Ace really doesn't do much damage. If they go for Energy Ball here, this might put us into farm down range. And the opponent does go for Energy Ball this time around, but we're still able to make it to a Hyper Beam. Once again, full sending it here. Hyper Beam will connect. And again, unfortunately, not quite enough damage to get the KO. They do actually farm us down there, but we can come in with the Barrel. Is this just an Aerial Ace? We're actually going to shield. It is the Energy Ball, so very good shield usage there. The opponent comes back in with Macargo just to be fully farmed down. Don't really understand why they did that, but they've got a Clodsire in the back, so they were double weak to the water typing, but still a very strange decision there. Either way, going to fire off back-to-back Surfs, and then possibly swapping into our Parasect, hopefully to land a Solar Beam, and we're going to do exactly that. Of course, if they are running Stone Edge, we still should be able to tank this, and it looks like the opponent is running Mudshot as the fast move as well, which means we are double resisting it. We will easily make it to the Solar Beam, and Solar Beam, of course, all shields are down. It does connect. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite take them out there, but we're able to make it to a Cross Poison anyways before the opponent throws the next charge move. They're trying to overfarm, but we make it to the Cross Poison. Cross Poison is actually going to be double resisted, but we get an unnecessary boost there. We're able to Fury Cutter, falling down. I think the opponent just gave up at that point, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, great lead for us as the opponent running Ice Fang Hippowdon. Might be a good answer to all those Flygons in the meta, but unfortunately up against a water type, it's not great. We're going to shoot at the Weather Ball there. Weather Ball wouldn't do that much damage. It's not on stab, but we get a full Water Gun farm down, which is very nice. The opponent's going to come in with a Bullet Seed Greedent. Of course, Mudshot's energy generation was nerfed, so Bullet Seed might actually be the way to go this season. But either way, we land the Hyper Beam, we swap into our Parasect, unfortunately baiting out a Rapidash, which isn't really ideal for us, but going to go straight for Cross Poison. Cross Poison grabs a shield. They could be running Wild Charge after Community Day, so we are going to come in with our Furret here instead of coming in with the Barrel and possibly just looking to fully sacrifice it here. As the opponent throws a charge move, they go for the Flame Charge there, and they're going to throw the next charge move straight away. We're not even going to bother shielding here. Flame Charge number 2 gets the KO, but we can come back in with the Barrel, go for the full Water Gun farm down, and we can just Water Gun farm down the Greedent to take that game. So going into the next battle, we can see Barrel into double. So of course, going to be running double kick as the fast move here. So not the greatest matchup. They could also be running wild charge. So we swap into our Parasect, trying to catch the charge move, but they don't throw straight away. And they're actually running payback instead. So definitely not ideal for us. We're going to go and throw a cross poison here just before the opponent makes it to the next charge move. Cross poison actually grabs a shield, and possibly just because the opponent doesn't really know what charge moves we could be running, the opponent is going to go for a bone club here just before we make it to the solar beam. That is very unfortunate. I would have loved to see the solar beam land, but either way we can come back in with the barrel, go for water guns here, and then go for the surf. Surf will get the KO from that range, which is very nice. They're going to come back in with the double, and we are going to no shield. The opponent once again full sense of payback there, so they might be running double nukes and not wanting to debuff their defense with a wild charge there. We're going to shield, and it is the wild charge, so very good read there. We can now go for the sucker punch farm down, and they have a Swampert in the back. This time we are baiting, going straight for brick break here, and the opponent does shield this time around, and that is huge for us. That should allow us to just barely make it to a hyper beam before they make it to back-to-back hydro cannons. Of course, Mudshot's energy generation was nerfed, so we're just barely able to get there in time, and hyper beam, even if they weren't debuffed, would easily get the KO up against the Swampert, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, you can see Barrel into Greedent once again. So the opponent is once again going to be running Bullet Seed. So I don't know if that is the preferred moveset this season. We tried to catch a potential Trailblaze there. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, but the opponent swaps into a Bomber Snow. We've got a pretty decent energy advantage, and we get the boost, and this time it's going to be pretty useful for us, as this next Cross Poison probably would KO or come very close to KOing. So the opponent does double shield. At this point, we're actually going to no shield this. They go for a Weather Ball. Weather Ball gets the KO. And a little bit of an awkward situation to be in, but we are of course resisting the ice type damage. We're going to shield this up, could be the energy ball, and the opponent does go for the energy ball this time around. And at this point we can probably just go for Surf. Surf might not get the KO, but it should put them into farm down range. Surf doesn't quite take them out, but we do get that water gun farm down, and they come in with a Bullet Seed Braylon, which I definitely do not think is the recommended moveset. You definitely want to run Force Palm this season. Force Palm Braylon actually pretty good in this meta, but they are running of course Bullet Seed here. We're able to make it to the Brick Break. If they're running Force Palm, honestly, they could have probably just farmed us down at this point, but we do land the Brick Break, and that doesn't get the KO, but it puts them into Water Gun farm down range. They go for Dynamic Punch there, and they're going to swap back into Greedent, but they go for an accidental extra Bullet Seed, and that allows us to reach the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam gets the KO, and now we can actually resist the Water Gun, farm down the Breloom to take that game. So going into the next battle, going to be Barrel into Clodsire. So a very good matchup for us here in the lead. The opponent is going to stay in this matchup. They're also going to fire for Charge Tree straight away. So this should just be a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb, not going to do that much damage there. It won't be able to allow them to fully farm us down either. So pretty good for us. We can now go and fire off a Surf. Surf is going to be shielded. We're then going to swap, catch the next Sludge Bomb onto our Furret, and that's absolutely fine. Sludge Bomb, you're going to do even less damage here. They come in with a Talonflame, and they are actually running Fire Spin here. We're going to go straight for a Brick Break, so not even full send of the Hyper Beam, and the opponent doesn't respect the damage this time, but we do make it to a second Brick Break, and if they do no shield this, honestly we might be able to snipe with a single Water Gun from our Barrel, as they are double debuffed, and we do get that snipe before they can even throw a charge move. They come in with a Diggersby. This Surf hopefully will grab the final shield, and that way it will put them into range where we can just go straight for a Solar Beam here, although we do have to respect the damage. Fire Punch is going to be double super effective up against our Parasect, and they do have a Clodsire in the back, so we've got to be very careful of a potential catch here. So we're going to shield this, going to be very careful that they don't swap back into Clodsire. We are over farming, and the opponent does not swap out, so we're going straight for Solar Beam. Solar Beam gets the one shot up against the Diggersby. They come back in with Clodsire. We already know they are running Sludge Bomb, so going to have to settle for a Cross Poison, which we've already seen is double resisted, doesn't do much damage. We swap into the Barrel, and we force the opponent to throw their energy, which is huge for us. The opponent goes for Sludge Bomb, and now we can come back in, and we are just barely able to make it to a Cross Poison. And again, this is going to be double resisted damage, and again we get the unnecessary attack boost after KOing a Clodsire with the double resisted Cross Poison, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, another Water Gun Quagsire. So I will say these battles are definitely at a low elo, but either way we're going to be able to catch the charge move, catching a double resisted Mud Bomb once again, but once again baiting out an Incinerate user, which is not ideal. We can go for a Cross Poison. Cross Poison not going to do much damage here whatsoever. The opponent does no shield, but we can come back in with the Barrel, and we are able to go for a Surf here. Surf is going to be shielded by the opponent, but they do have quite a lot of energy, so going to no shield the first charge move as the opponent goes for a Crunch. Crunch does not debuff our defense, but they're already at the next charge view. At this point, gonna shield this up. We should be able to go for a full water gun farm down, unless the opponent does swap out, and they do swap. They swap back into Quagsire, but we're able to fire off the charge weave. So we're going straight for Surf. Surf grabs that final shield from the opponent, and we can come in with our turret. At this point, we're going to shield this as they go for a mud bomb here, and can we take them out with a brick break from this range? It's going to be close. Brick break, of course, non-stab, not the best charge move whatsoever, and it doesn't quite take them out, but we get the farm down anyways, and they come in with a Fury Cutter Gligar, and we will be able to outpace them to the charge move, full send in the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam gets the one shot up against Gligar, which is fairly bulky. We're able to Sucker Punch, farm down the Crocodile coming back in, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we can see Miltank in the lead, so this could be a little bit tricky for us. They could be running Thunderbolt, but they actually just don't even farm to it, so probably going to be running Body Slam and Ice Beam, in which case, of course, we don't really need to shield that, but we're going to swap and catch the next charge move onto our Parasect, which is a very interesting play here, and once again, baiting out an Incinerate user. So Parasect, honestly, these last few battles, not being particularly good here, basically just getting fully sacrificed, and again, they don't shield, and once again, actually Cross Poison, just not doing much damage. It's actually resisted up against my cargo, so even worse for us. We actually don't throw the Surf there straight away. I think we probably would win CMP up against my cargo, but either way, we're going to go for the extra water guns, go for the Surf there, get the KO, and they've got a Ferrothorn in the back. Now this is going to be tricky for us. We are going to no shield the first charge move as the opponent goes for the Power Whip there, and they're going to swap back into Miltank, and we're going to go straight for the Brick Break. Brick Break will be coming through. Brick Break is going to be no shielded by the opponent, and the opponent is going to fire for charge move. Of course, we have to shield at this point. We've only got the barrel left in the bag up against a Ferrothorn. This is going to be very tricky. They've still got all shields in play, but we should be able to make it to back-to-back Brick Breaks up against this Ferrothorn. So the first one will be shielded by the opponent, and we are going to just barely make it to another Brick Break up against the Ferrothorn. They're going to have to shield this as well. They are going to shield, and they're going to throw straight away. So they're going to be 4 bullet seeds away from the next Power Whip. Can we make it to a Hyper Beam? We're actually not even committing to the Hyper Beam. Instead, going for a Surf. Surf is going to connect. It does big damage. They are double debuffed, and we just barely get the Water Gun farm down there, living with 1 HP and a Dream, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, Talonflame in the lead. They're going to say swap into Credilli. This time we're swapping straight away, not trying to catch a move or anything like that. We've seen already we can live a Rock Side, so going straight for Cross Poison. Cross Poison grabs a shield from the opponent, and that's perfect. And we can live this, and they're not going to be able to farm us down as we've already seen, so going to no shield that, and we will make it to another Cross Poison, once again throwing on CMP, winning CMP, and grabbing both shields from the opponent. So at this point, honestly, we might just let the Parasect go down. Yeah, we're going to let it go down there. Honestly, if we did shield that, I'm not certain that with the Fury Cutter damage, the next Cross Poison would KO anyways, but the opponent swaps back into their Talonflame, so we're definitely just going to shield with our Barrel, go for a huge Water Gun farm down. They actually make that farm down slightly less because they go for a Brave Bird, but it doesn't matter. They come in with a Swampert, and once again, we're full sending the Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam gets that Swampert off my screen, and now we're going to see the Credilli coming back in. At this point, we could choose to shield. We're going to shield, and just go straight for a Surf up against this Credilli, and that should be game over. Of course, from this range, a Surf will be enough damage to get the KO, so we're able to take out Credilli, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, Bibarel into Oranguru. So of course, not the worst matchup ever, but of course we do have 2 Pokemon that deal super effective fast move damage up against Oranguru. So we say swap into Parasect, this time not being hard punished by an Incinerate user, which is very nice. We're going to no shield this as the opponent is going to go for a Trailblaze, which is double resisted by the grass and the bug typing. So a big mistake there, but it does boost up their attack, so they should be able to possibly shield this and go for a full Confusion farm down, and actually they get the farm down without even shielding. So whilst that wasn't really the best play going for Trailblaze there, it still ends up working for them. They now go for a boosted foul play. We're going to go for that Sucker Punch farm down, and they come in with an Amoonguss, which is actually running Feint Attack as the fast move, so they're not running the buffed Astonish, which is slightly worse for us because of course Astonish would be resisted, or double resisted by the normal typing, but we're able to grab a shield with the Brick Break. We're actually going to let the Furret go down here, save both our shields for Bibarel in the end game, and because they are of course running Feint Attack, there's not a lot of fast move pressure here. They are a grass type, but we can just shield, or possibly even double shield, just committing to a huge Water Gun farm down here. Nope, never mind, gonna fire off the Surf here, throw just before they make it to the next charge move. Surf will get the KO. They come in with a Kanto Marowak, and we could just settle for a Surf, but it's a Hyper Beam showcase, so we are once again full sending the Beam. Beam gets the one shot up against the Marowak, and we're able to take that game. So going into next battle, Bibarel into a Alola Marowak this time around. So still a great matchup for Bibarel, and actually possibly even better. They're going to say swap into a Razor Leaf Ludicolo, which is great for us. We're going to come in with our Parasect, going straight for Cross Poison. Cross Poison, going to be no shielded. Can we go for a full Fury Cutter farm down before they make it to a charge move? Yes, we absolutely can. And whilst this is going to be resisted damage, we are full sending the Solar Beam here. Solar Beam does connect. It does about 60% of their HP despite being resisted by the fire typing. We can come in with Bibarel, we get the full Water Gun farm down here, and they come in with a Shadow Swampert. This is absolutely game over. We're going to go straight for Surf. Surf should be grabbing a shield from the opponent. It does grab a shield, but it doesn't really matter. We can actually make it to another Surf before the opponent even throws a charge move. The opponent is going to double shield the Swampert. They're going to massively overfarm here before eventually throwing. Of course, Hydro Cannon should be enough damage to get the KO from this range, but it doesn't matter. We still got 2 shields. We honestly could tank a Hydro Cannon from this range, but we're going to play it safe, use our shield anyways. The opponent does make it to our last second charge move, but we're just going to use our final shield. The opponent goes for Hydro Cannon, we KO through the shield there, and we're able to take that game. And going into the final battle of this video, leading Bibarel into Obstagoon. So not a great lead matchup for us. We're going to say swap into our Parasect, and it turns out they're actually running Lick as the fast move. Of course, Counter was nerfed this season, but does that mean Lick is the way to go on Obstagoon? I'm not so sure about that, but I mean, maybe up against Ghost types, it's going to be a very hard wall now. But either way, we go for Cross Poison, grab a shield there, and we're able to make it to another Cross Poison up against this Obstagoon. Cross Poison number 2 is unfortunately no shielded this time around. Doesn't do that much damage there, but they go for a Night Sash, getting the KO, but we can actually come back in with Bibarel. Since they're not running Counter, we actually get a full Water Gun farm down, and they come in with a Clodsire, so probably going to be running something like a Talonflame in the back. Otherwise, why would you come in with Clodsire? We're going to go for the Surf. Surf grabs a shield from the opponent, the final shield. And this one, we're not even going to bother shielding. It looks like most of the games we're saving 2 shields for a Pokemon in the back, and we will just commit to a Hyper Beam regardless. And the opponent comes in with Quagsire. We're making it to the Hyper Beam. Once again, it gets the one shot. We can come in with Fire, and we will be able to go for another Hyper Beam in the same battle. The opponent going to fire for charge move. We are 2 shield flexing at this point. The opponent goes for a Sludge Wall once again, and unfortunately they do just concede the match there. We're not able to land a final Hyper Beam, but we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.